HFILX. I am the man behind the camera, Harvest, and with me is the main man on the comms.
HeroHom, what's going on, everybody? How's it going? Welcome back.
That's right, and we're talking a little bit about Multiversus. It's the big game coming out in just 6 days as we record this, and trailers just recently dropped for an upcoming game. New characters are coming out for it, including some cinematic trailers, new perks, some awesome stuff coming out with it. But let's get a little bit of background about ourselves regarding this game. Hero, you did play a little bit about Multiverses. Tell me about your experience with it before in the original Beta 1.0, we'll call it.
Yeah, so the original beta, I had a lot of fun with it, actually. I played it for a while. I think there were some issues with online, which for a beta, it makes a lot of sense. Um, I will say that between what it looked like back then versus what it looks like now, it looks like it's going to play different just because it's going to be slower paced. So it's not going to be the same as I played back then. But I did have a lot of fun with the last one, and this one is going to be using Unreal Engine, which is crazy. So the game looks so clean now compared to the open beta. The character I used back then was Wonder Woman, and I will probably be sticking with her. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see if there's any new characters in the future that come out that I might want to play if they ever come out. But we'll talk about that a little later. But yeah, the beta was fun, and I'm looking forward to the game's full launch, May 28th.
Now, myself, I'm going to this completely blind. I never played Multiverses before. I watched a little bit of it. I know Evo had the big tournament as well. It looked like it was fun, but it was clear to me since day one they said this was a beta. So I didn't want to jump into it because I was expecting it to eventually disappear like it did. Um, and apparently that was a bad idea because they are taking care of you folks who did play the beta. And I'm a little sad that I did not jump in when I could have. Whoops. Uh, so
It's all
yeah,
right, man. It's better late than never.
yeah, I'm definitely going to be playing this new one. They really grabbed my attention, and honestly, my attention was completely taken in when Joker was announced. Mark Hamill's Joker was announced for the game. I was thinking I was going to play it, and it's free. Why not? They did a lot of updates from, you said, the Unreal Engine. I saw that they made the character models a lot larger, so it was a lot easier. They're bringing in PvE, so they're doing a lot more focus of 1v1 matches versus before where the focus was 2v2. And I don't know about you, I don't have a lot of friends, so 2v2 is not good for me.
I have a lot of friends, but I'm more of a solo gamer, so I'd rather run the 1v1s. 2v2 is fun sometimes, but I'm more of a, like I said, a solo gamer, so I would be doing 1v1s a lot more. But if you want to hit me up for 2v2s, I got you.
All right, perfect. I'll get you on there. We'll be Team HFIL out there going 0-2 at every bracket possible.
1 and 2, maybe. All right, come
Hey.
on, man. Give us a little credit.
All right, maybe 1 or 2. I'll give it that. Um, so let's talk a little bit about some of the characters we got coming in here. I mentioned Joker's coming in. Mark Hamill's Joker, behind the scenes story on that one, and I think it's a great story. Mark Hamill has always been clear that he would only voice the Joker if Kevin Conroy will be Batman in it. And Kevin Conroy sadly passed away, and this, best of my knowledge, is the last thing, at least the last meeting we're going to be able to have now, where he's voicing Batman. So this game will be the last time we're going to have Mark Hamill's Joker as well. I'm excited to play as Joker. We saw a little bit of his moveset. What would you think of Joker when you saw him being announced as well as his moveset coming to the game?
All right, so looking at Joker, one of my favorite villains of all time, I was very excited to see. Um, he's got a couple of moves that I'm interested in. I'm interested in. He has a slide at the beginning. I want to know if that combos into anything. But also, I see he's got the cards he can throw out, and he has the anti-air as well. I feel like he's gonna be a mix-up character, and he's got a little RNG because he's got that surprise move where one or two outcomes can come from that. So really looking forward to labbing him and seeing how I can play him. But the one thing that caught my eye the most is he's got that crowbar, and all I can think about is Jason Todd,
Yeah.
which was the second Robin that Joker beat nearly to death before blowing him up. So uh, yeah, Joker being in the game, crazy. Them having the crowbar, even more crazy. So I'm really looking forward to playing him and seeing if that's a character I can stick with moving forward. If he could take the #1 spot, or if Wonder Woman can keep that spot. But yeah, again, very excited to play with Joker, and we'll see what happens.
This moveset looks fun. It's got a lot of push as far as, I mean, in general, the franchise, the series has been very good at honoring the source material. But the fact that he's so much joke, obviously he's Joker, but so many joke weapons regarding the buzzer, the balloon recovery, which he can even recover as almost like a villager in Smash Brothers. And we might do a lot of comparisons to Smash Ultimate in this video because we have a huge Smash Ultimate background, of course. But
Absolutely.
but like he looks like he'd be a fun character to try out, and I did see they do have one of his costumes is the no laughing joke, the laughing joke, where it's just like
Hmm.
that looks so sweet. I would love to get that costume
Yeah,
for him.
that looks amazing. Absolutely. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, go ahead and take a look at it. It's amazing. So, just as Sean said, as Harvest said, this has been it's been a long time since again we've heard anything from Multiverse, and
Mm.
for them to have Joker come out and a few other characters that we'll talk about very soon, they're definitely making a hard push to bring the people back that may have jumped off earlier. But also, this game is going to be compared to Smash a lot, just because you have to think of the fact that it is a platform game, and every game that comes out now will always be compared to Smash Bros. Because that's at, like number one, like that's at the top of the list, and everyone's trying to compete to get to that spot. There was a time very early on where there were some people that thought that this game could beat Smash Brothers, but then we had that long period of break, and I'm not sure if those people still agree or disagree with that. But next week we'll have a couple months to figure out if this is something that could maybe challenge Smash Brothers. We'll see. Um,
I will
yeah.
say, compared to other challengers, I think there's like only three games we can really talk about that are legit challengers to it. Way back in the day with PlayStation All Stars, which they did a lot to it, but there were so many changes to the traditional platform fighter formula that it just didn't work out as well. This game as well, team behind this game has so much passion. They've been putting in so much work. Last time we heard anything about it before they came back was June of last year. So they, of course, went back, retooled everything, saw where they messed up, where they can get better, and then brought it back out. Beautiful idea. So it brings me even more hope about the game. Nicktoon All Stars, which everyone saw transparently, the first one was rushed out there, and the third one, second one, I think that lasted 2 weeks, and that one disappeared fast. Um,
I
and
forgot about it.
exactly. And then Rivals of Aether. I don't think that one would ever beat Smash Ultimate, but I feel like that's always going to be the I don't know your King of Fighters to your Street Fighter. It's always going to be a great fighting game that people will always know about, but I don't think anyone's going to say it's going to be beating Street Fighter. If that's a pretty even comparison, I think it's a good comparison.
I think it's a good comparison. I can agree with that.
And unlike PlayStation All Stars, and definitely unlike Nicktoons, this game, Multiversus, is going to be able to pull off the Nintendo style of crossovers. We mentioned Joker, but the other characters that were just recently announced, one of them is going to be straight off the bat coming into the game. We might talk only a little bit about him. Banana Guard from Adventure Time. He's a kind of a joke character. He's a very Piranha Plant-esque character coming in there. But we did see his moveset coming in there, and he's a spear fighter, which I know something people wanted to see with Ultimate, maybe like a Waddle Dee with a spear or something. We don't have anything like that other than Byleth in there. And I'm kind of excited about his moveset and playing with him a little bit. What did you see with Banana Guard? Any thoughts on him, or do you just want to go right past the main event characters?
Um, it's more of the latter, but I will say about Banana Guard, they look like they'll be very fun to play with, and it's one of those characters that, or it's actually the character that if you go through the tutorial, 7-day reward calendar that allows you to actually unlock this character, so you'll be able to get this character very early on as soon as you play the game. So for those that were hoping for Banana Guard to be in the game, you get to rush in and play with them almost right away. My personal opinion, and we can move on to other characters. I don't know there's a lot of Adventure Time fans, and that's fine, but there are probably other characters that they could have brought in instead of Banana Guard. If you disagree, let us know in the comments below. But I don't know. That was just one that I just kind of yawned at, but also laughed at because I do think there'll be a fun gimmick character. It's just there's so many different characters that you could have chose from. And again, we'll talk about who we would like to be in the game later on in this video. But
Yeah, well,
that's my take on Banana Guard.
yeah, we might maybe do like a draft list, like each of our top five, and just go back and forth. I think that'd be a good one to get to. But two characters that are not going to be in that draft because they're already announced, they're already in the game. First off, pretty much coming out immediately once the game drops. Jason Voorhees himself. I had no idea he was going to come in there. It seems out of left field, but I'm not going to lie. I'm super excited, super happy to see Jason in this game.
And he's gonna be a tank. Like he's heavy. He looks big, so he's ready to wreak havoc. I'm also excited to see Jason in the game. Now there's a character that I looked at and said, all right, they did good with this one.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people I know wanted Jason to be in the game, and when he was rumored, there were a lot of people that were excited about it. And now that that's been confirmed, for the people that weren't sure if they were going to get the game, if Jason was the deciding factor, come on in. Jason will be there, and he will be large and in charge.
I know when we talked a little bit about in the HFIL Discord that Carpy Cat, one of our guys, the guy that TLs the HFIL monthly tournaments, he immediately laughed about how Jason looks. But honestly, all the characters in there look like that particular Multiversus style versus other fighting games where they just bring in that character's artwork over. And considering that they brought him over like that, you see how he looks like in the screenshots on the website. He looks awesome. He's going to be massive, probably a little bit bigger than Superman, but not as big as the Iron Giant. And he's just going to be a giant, fun character in this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's going to be a character in this game that's going to be as big as Iron Giant. Maybe Godzilla. Maybe if that's a character that they bring in, who knows? But Iron Giant right now is going to hold on to that title. But yeah, Jason's going to be a pretty big character, and I'm curious to see how he stacks up to the other characters in fighting. I'd like to see a little bit more, which we will get to see very soon. So, character I'm looking forward to playing. Very happy he is in the game. And again, I talked to people that were just wondering if the rumors were true. And since they are, I know you guys are happy. So I'm happy as well.
Yeah.
Um,
And the big rumors
yeah.
were when they did the Joker. I think it was I don't remember if it was the full cinematic trailer or was the moveset trailer. They were showing the character screen, and clearly the screen was alphabetical, and there was a spot between Jake and Joker. So who was between there? And the big two that were being talked about was either Jason Voorhees or Johnny Bravo. I think they made the right pick.
I will say they made the right pick. This is somebody I wanted over Johnny Bravo, but Johnny Bravo is definitely someone I want to see in this game. No questions asked. One of my favorite cartoons growing up. I definitely want to see Johnny Bravo in there.
Yeah, and we didn't see his moveset. All we see is his full figure in the screenshot. So we know nothing about him other than he's going to have the music from the cinematic trailer we saw and how large he is. The other character that we was announced, and again, know nothing about him. We don't know if Hugo Weaving is going to be voice acting him even. All we had was like a bust shot, like shoulders up, of Agent Smith from The Matrix. I was a big Matrix fan from back in the day. Tell me about your Matrix background, Charlie, Hero.
My Matrix background is almost non-existent. I looked at the original Matrix, and I may have seen another and don't remember it that well. But seeing Agent be in this game is just kind of crazy because it just makes you think, will Neo be in the game? Um, but yeah, that's one of the characters. I'm not that excited about because again, my Matrix background isn't that big. I didn't grow up watching that one, but I know there are a lot of people that watched it and are excited and are probably wondering if we'll get Neo, which is another character that I hope will be in there because I am very familiar with Neo as well. So it just opens up the opportunity when we see these characters, like you see Agent, you see Jason, you see Joker. There's just so many opportunities for these characters to just come in and for people to be excited. It's like, I just remember, and going back to Smash Brothers, just remember every time there was a character drop, I just sat there and I just kept hoping for years and years, going back to from Brawl, let's see, from Brawl to 4 to Ultimate, just hoping for Sora to get there. And I had a chat, and everybody would always just reach out to me and say, "Hey, it's not going to be Sora this year." And I said, "No, it's going to be Sora," and it wasn't until it was. And I know everyone for Multiverse, like they're gonna have somebody that they feel like, wow, I hope this character is there. Whether that be Jason, if they're already there, cool. If it's Agent, they're already there, cool. If it's banana, if it's Banana Guard, then you got problems. If that's the character you were waiting on the whole time,
Uh,
there's something wrong with you. Uh, but yeah, there's gonna be characters that people are hoping to come out, and so far they're off to a very good start with season one with these characters, like doing a very good job, and I'm excited to play all of them just to test them out. A little more excited to play Joker than the rest, but
mhm.
I definitely will be trying them all out, including Banana Guard, who I just ripped on. But
Yeah,
no, this is a fun game, and I can't wait to try every single character.
yeah, Agent Smith, I'm really excited to try out. I imagine because he's a kung fu character in the movie, so I'm
Yeah.
excited about his kind of style. Plus, he's Matrix. His thing is like smithing people, like putting his hand and making them become another smith. So I'm really curious how they're going to adapt his moveset into the game. Of course, we know nothing about his moveset. We know nothing about Jason's moveset. We've seen him in Mortal Kombat, so it might be like that. But other than that, unless he actually does stab like Superman and just blood drips out, probably not happening. Uh, but it's going to be exciting when those do characters. And I think what you just said about the idea of people waiting for the next character to drop. I remember I was at work and our guy Grims, he just turned to me when I was watching the Nintendo live stream live and it's just like, is it true? At that point, I did not see Banjo-Kazooie was announced yet. And the entire section of our work just went nuts about Banjo-Kazooie being in Smash Ultimate. So that's going to be the same feeling I feel like with Multiversus compared to Nicktoons, because I don't think too many people just lost their mind about, oh my God, Nigel Thornberry, you know? So,
I do know if I knew that my friend he actually was very excited about Nigel. He never played the game though. It's funny. Nigel was announced. He was like, "Wow, I can't wait to main him." But like the rest of the group, like we weren't that interested in Nickelodeon All Stars, and I don't know. He never. I'm not sure if he ever got. I'll hit him up. I wonder if he ever got to play Nigel, and I'll let you guys know. But
all right.
probably not.
That game, I think after Garfield came out, the game just immediately disappeared. I know they did the second. I think XJ9 was added, but I don't remember anything about the second. I'm so sad that just because I'm sad about people's employment and stuff, I'm sad it died so quickly. But I got more hope for Multiverses, and I got more hope about some future characters in the game. I don't know if I want to stress as much, but I do want to speculate one little thing. Because of that cinematic trailer, you have Wonder Woman and all the heroes, Jake, I'm trying to remember everyone that was in it. Velma, I think Shaggy as well. We're coming through the green cloud to fight Joker, and he says, "And you normally I work alone, but this time I'll make an exception." Summons Jason Smith, and you see more summons around him. So I'm assuming because of that, a lot of the season one pass, or maybe even beyond, we're gonna get a lot of villains coming into the franchise for the first pass, and I'm happy about that because before all we had was Black Adam and maybe you could say Marvin the Martian.
One of my favorite characters also growing up was Marvin the Martian. His playstyle in the game as a zoner. I'm not really one to play zoners that much, but I was still nonetheless excited for him to be in the game and had a good time trying him out. And I saw he won, I believe, like way back in the beginning, like when he first came out. I think like somebody won a major with him, or a very big tournament. So he is viable, but I've seen tier lists that's had him all the way down at the bottom. I've seen tier lists that had him at the top. Like I'm not gonna look at tier lists too early in this game. I just want to see how everything plays out in a year. And we'll just take it from there. I've seen Wonder Woman also move up and down the tier list as well, and to me, I think she's like either S tier or at least A, in my opinion. But um, let me know if you guys agree with that or not as well.
And one thing we haven't really talked about is the actual battle pass itself. You're getting that free premium because you got that beta, but there's a whole bunch of interesting perks going on with that battle pass. But also, screw you, Charlie, for getting that.
My bad.
So yeah, you're essentially going to be able to get Banana Guard quickly. You're going to get Jason real quickly. If the rest of us want Jason, though, we do have to pay for the Battle Pass. So it is a free game, but unlike say Fortnite being a free game, you are going to need to pay if you want to really be competitive. So feels like it's sort of a lie. I don't know the price of the Battle Pass offhand, but it might be worth it. It all depends on how good the game play actually feels, of course.
They're definitely banking on the game, doing very well, and because it's free starting off, like they expect people to buy this, the battle pass and to pay their way to win. 'Cause that's just the same thing with Smash Bros. The DLC. You just pay to win. And I feel like that's with every fighting game. So it's not just these games; it's others as well. I am curious to see, like you said, like what the price will come out to altogether. Like when you have all the characters, like is it gonna come out to how much you would pay for a full game? Is it gonna be half of that? And then how many more characters are we gonna be getting in this season as well? So
I
a
mean,
lot of questions.
now you think about it, they had about a full week, a full year to really try and plan and adjust. And back then they had maybe 3 weeks, I want to say it was, between each new character. I don't think it's going to be every 2 weeks we're going to get Agent Smith, and then we'll get Donald Duck, not him, of course. But yeah, it's going to be quick coming out. I feel like the way they're working, when considering how fast they brought out Joker, Jason, Agent Smith, and Banana Guard so quickly within the last 2 weeks. So I'm having hope they'll be coming out fast after May 28th, but I could be completely wrong with that hope.
Yeah, we'll find out. I hope you're not wrong, but we'll see. Um, sorry, go ahead. What were you about to say?
No, that was the big thing. You can finish your verse. The hope goes.
Oh shoot.
I was just gonna bring up the currency next after you finish your thought.
Oh no, you can go ahead and bring up the currency. I'll share my thoughts a little bit later.
All right, so I'm gonna go show off the currency. The big thing with the
Mhm.
currency they got going on is that they are having four different kinds of currency. You've got the perk currency, fighter currency, the prestige currency, and a glemium currency. And each one is used to try and gain the fighters, trying to gain costumes, gain other kind of random perks. So it is feeling so much like every single pay to play game out there with going from all the way Madden, NBA 2K to, I mentioned earlier, Fortnite. So I'm hoping it's not going to be as bad as NBA 2K is with regarding the pay to play kind of stuff, you know?
I hope not. I'm not as optimistic that it won't be, to be honest. But again, I think because the popularity of this game early on, and they're banking on sustaining that popularity, I feel like ultimately for people that are gonna want to try hard and get the characters and the perks early and the emotes, they're gonna pay, and that's what they're banking on.
Mhm.
Um, which salute to them, salute to their pockets. Because I know I'm gonna be one of those suckers that like if I see a character that I want, I'll probably pay. And there's a million other people like me that'll probably do the same thing. But then there's a million others that'll be like, maybe not. I don't know. Um, but it just takes one of us, and for the rest to follow. But we'll see. I'm not too sure how that's going to work until we actually see the game itself. But like I said, I'm not completely optimistic when it comes to this particular section, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll be better than I thought.
So that's really the big thoughts we got about the game as far as what we're expecting, what we've seen so far. But what do we want to see as far as the characters? That's what we want to talk about the most. I think that's what I'm most excited to talk about. So
Likewise.
let's do a little bit of a draft. Hero, who would be your first pick of who you'd want to see coming in this game? How many rounds do we want to do? 3, 5?
Let's go with. We can do five.
All right. Who's your first pick? Within reason, of course, Disney characters probably won't be in there. We won't be seeing too many anime characters either. But let's see what you think.
All right. So with the first pick overall in the 2024 Multiversus draft, HeroHom selects Damian Wayne from Batman, and that is my all-time favorite DC character. We already have Batman and we have Joker. Damian Wayne would be so huge for me that I would drop anybody if he ended up in this game. Um, Rising Robin, the son of Batman. If you don't know his story, check it out. But that is the number one character on my draft board.
All right, going for number one with me. I mentioned earlier about villains being very important with this game going forward. And for me, one of the most important, iconic villains of the 1990s and early 2000s of Harvest's childhood is Mojo Jojo. Mojo Jojo
Nice.
entering the game would be absolutely amazing. I think he would fit in perfectly as far as the zany nature of him. And unlike the Powerpuff Girls, where you have to like pick one of the three girls, you've got one Mojo Jojo, and it'd be absolutely perfect. Mojo Jojo would be my first pick.
Excellent pick, man. Mojo Jojo, very iconic. Mojo Jojo. Yeah, he'd be a fun character. I'd like to lab if he actually ever ended up in the game. So that's very good number one pick, man. Bravo.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to the second pick.
Yep, you.
All right, with the second pick of the 2024 Multiversus draft, HeroHom will be selecting Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory. Now, this is an interesting one because I believe there's actually going to be a Dexter stage in this game. So there is the possibility that we see Dexter in this game. And because this is a boy genius, there's so many gadgets and things you could imagine doing with Dexter in this game. So, um, also one of my favorite cartoons growing up as a kid. Man, I could go on and on with Dexter, and his sister Dee Dee, who was also funny. The dad and the mom. So yeah, no, Dexter would be a very good character in the game, and that is my second pick.
All right, I like Dexter. Dexter was on my list of characters I was really thinking about, so I'm a little jealous you picked that one over me. But I'm gonna go a
Sorry.
little. No, it's good. I'm glad he's at
Mhm.
least on the table. I'm gonna go even further back to way back. We're talking Hanna-Barbera era characters to throw in here. Since we already got Tom and Jerry in here, we've got a lot of the Scooby-Doo characters in here so far. But I want another one in here that just doesn't make any sense, but it's gonna be fun. Let's go Jabberjaw.
What?
Let's throw in
Jabberjaw?
Jabberjaw.
Oh man, yeah, we're really showing our ages with Jabberjaw.
I mean, neither one of us are around that same era. Neither one of us are Tom and Jerry era. But Jabberjaw is just a talking shark. It seems silly. I'm going a
Yeah,
little bit in like a realm of like Mojo Jojo and Jabberjaw. There might be a little clear agenda I've got, but Jabberjaw would just be hilarious.
excellent pick, man. Also, kudos to that for sure. You already got Mojo Jojo. We already got Banana Guard, who's hilarious in itself. Shout out to the Adventure Time fans. Yeah, good pick. All right, so we're going to number three.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, I got it. So with the number three pick in the 2024 Multiversus draft, HeroHom will be selecting Jason Todd. And this, as I referenced early on, this is the second Robin who was killed by Joker in an explosion, but not before being beat to death by a crowbar that Joker has in this game. So I think it'd be very interesting to see Jason Todd come back as the Red Hood. Um, and get his revenge in the game. He was also one of my favorite characters as well, just because his story is crazy. This was a Robin that was a little unhinged. He was not as nice as Batman was when it came to like letting people go. He ends up getting tricked by the Joker, gets killed by the Joker, but is brought back to life, depending on what version you believe and saw. I think it was Superboy Prime who ended up changing the reality and somehow he came back. I don't know. But either way, Jason Todd comes back as number three in my draft and he gets his revenge on the Joker.
I'm a little surprised you went with Jason Todd. So we were thinking we got two of Batman sidekicks with Damian Wayne and Jason Todd, but no Dick Grayson yet.
No Dick Grayson yet.
Okay. I'm thinking I'm getting away from the cartoons. Well, at least the childish cartoons. I'm going something a little edgier, something that's from way back the 90s and 2000s again. And we've seen him in a couple of fighting games already. I'm talking Todd McFarlane's Spawn to be in the game.
Okay.
Spawn would be great in the game. The voice actor, bringing him back. And his name just suddenly escaped my mind. He played Goliath as well. Um, it's killing me. And I'll probably put in the text when I put this video out in public what his name is. But he would be
So
absolutely amazing in the game. He's super dark and edgy, and he is pretty much I'm thinking of characters that are in HBO Max's streaming service. And that cartoon was on HBO. He was in the NetherRealm video game with the other Batman superheroes and Hellboy and all that. So I think he's good chance. He has a good chance of being in the game as well. Spawn is pick number 3 for Harvest.
all right, man. Good pick. Good pick. So we're down to two more picks, and we are at number 4.
Mhm.
So many options left on the table, but with the number 4 pick in the 2024 Multiversus draft, HeroHom will be selecting Godzilla.
Godzilla. Okay. I
Yeah,
I was thinking Godzilla, but I kept on thinking, like, is that possible? I guess it is
I don't know.
possible. And
It could be, and I hope so.
and how big would he
I didn't think
be?
Sora was possible.
That's true. And yeah, that's a really good pick. My fourth
We need
pick. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say we just need somebody to compete with the big man, the big iron giant. We need
Mhm.
somebody that can stack up and be just as tall and throw hands with him.
And using the same stuff as the other things we've seen crossed over, I think Ready Player One, we saw Iron Giant fight Mecha Godzilla, so it's possible we could see that again and be the real Godzilla this time. Pick number four. I'm thinking we have LeBron James in the game, right?
We do.
Somehow we have LeBron James in the game, but there's another character that I think should be in there, and he knows Kung Fu well. Or I guess I should say Shaq Fu. Shaquille O'Neal, fourth pick in the Harvest Multiverse 2024 draft. Shaq Fu should be added to the game.
Oh man, Kazam Shaq. That's
I
yeah,
mean,
that
yeah, you could even do like some of the lightning Kazam attacks too. Kazam versus
yeah.
Black Adam. No more Shazam now.
Oh man, Shaq is a very good pick. I'm actually a little jealous of that one. That could have been one of my picks.
Plus, you could even do.
You took a big dude off the board. That
Oh
would be
yeah.
amazing to have in this game.
I mean, he's called Superman. He's both Steel already before. Like, there's a lot of fun stuff you could do with Shaq in Multiversus.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, guys, if you're watching this, I really hope you can get Shaq in the game.
Yes.
I hope you're paying attention to this draft, and I hope you take every character that we say into consideration. Uh, we need to just figure out who we need to talk to for that, but we'll send them a nice email and just voice our opinions that these characters should definitely be in. So now we're down to the last pick,
Last pick, Mystery
number
Relevant.
Mr. Irrelevant, number 5, Tom Brady. No, all right, no. He was paid number 200, so it would be Brock Purdy, but no, 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 no. All right, so for the number 5 pick and the final pick for HeroHom in the 2024 Multiversus draft, HeroHom will be selecting Scooby Doo.
Scooby Doo.
Scooby Doo. You already have Shaggy. You already have Velma. They're from the show Scooby Doo. Bring Scooby Doo.
That's fair.
Simple as that. Simple as that. He'd be a very fun character. Uh, Gimmicky. If we'd have another dog in the game, and I like my dogs, so Scooby Doo, definitely one of my favorites watching growing up as well, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people can agree with that because it's a legend, it's a classic. No further words needed for Scooby Doo other than please get Scooby Doo in the game. That is my 5th pick.
All right. And for my final pick, there's a lot of honorable mentions running through my head. I don't want to mention them at all. But the last pick, I feel like I need to get back in the comics. I haven't mentioned really any DC comic characters in my list. And I know there's a lot of DC comic characters that have already been mentioned. But one that would be pretty cool and I think would fit, and it's been rumored already to be in the games, and that's Rorschach from The Watchmen. Movie was amazing, awesome character. I think it'd be fun. I don't know what you could do for his alternate costumes, but Rorschach would be my final pick to be in Multiversus.
All right, guys, and that's gonna do it for the 2024 Multiverses draft. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope that our characters make it in. But if you guys have any characters that you would like to see in this game,
Mhm.
please let us know. Um, they won't be better than the characters we picked, but that's okay. We still value your opinions, just not as much as we value ours. Joking, joking, joking.
Mhm.
Every opinion is valued the same, and we would appreciate it if you guys let us know who you think would be a good character to add to this game that is coming out May 28th.
100%. Love to see what happens May 28th, just a few days away from now. Speaking of a few days away from now, want to remind you HFIL Gaming June 1st. We'll be back at Gatekeeper Games with Smash Ultimate the first Saturday of the month. Be sure to join us. Special start time of 3 p.m. as well. Also, our friends over at Citadel Esports Gaming, they're going to be holding the first Multiversus in-person tournament in the state of Michigan, Multiversus Mayhem in Wyandotte, Michigan. That's going to be June 2nd. You can get yourself a packed weekend of Smash Ultimate and Multiversus in the same weekend. Highly recommend doing both. It's going to be an absolutely fun time.
I will be at both, so look out for me.
That's right. Well,
Uh,
try and get Hero's autograph while you're out there too.
I got you.
All right. So I think that is it for this HFI Reacts. What is it? You say HFIL out?
Yeah, that's it. HFI out. I mean, we could come up with something later, but that's just
Uh, the first thing
an
I
OG move.
my OG back years ago of my first podcast, and it's an old
Mm,
line: "The man who sleeps on the floor can't possibly fall out of bed."
man,
Uh,
bars.